Oh man, I had a day yesterday and it was a cold night and I was all wet. It took a long time to get warmed up. Well, I got a bunch of wet stuff that I'm trying to get into my pack. My pack's just a mess this morning. Trying to figure out how to do it. Trying to keep the dry stuff separate. In the middle of the day, I'm going to have a long lunch. And my biggest challenge, my shoes. They're fucking frozen solid. I can't get my feet in them. Frozen solid. I can't get my feet in them. They're covered in mud. It's ridiculous. Not sure what to do about that yet. I'm gonna have to strap them to my pack and walk in my Crocs, I guess. I don't know. I think that's what I gotta do. To at least till they get soft enough to I can get my feet in them. Good morning. Welcome to my day here. I'm about, I don't know, I'd say a little more than halfway, maybe 2/3 between Tucson and Flagstaff. I'm getting close to the base of, oh shoot, whatever that mountain is, Mount Humphreys, that's the one. And it's sunny. It was 14 degrees this morning. My temperature gauge stopped working last week. But oddly enough, 40 minutes into my croc walk, a gentleman in a white Jeep rolled up. Noticed me carrying my tennis shoes and thought that was unique. So we stopped and chatted for a bit. Told him that they're frozen. I can't get the the hole to open up enough to get my foot in. Well, that was remedied about 35 or 40 minutes later. I was able to work my feet into them, but it felt like a block of ice, both feet. Took about 20 minutes till that became comfortable, going through my toes, numbing at first, but everything warmed up, and I'm a couple hours past that, and it's a beautiful day. Just a beautiful day, y'all. Time to dry things out. Oh, hey there. Guess what? It's lunchtime with the bearded frog. Matt, aka. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time it may be where you're picking me up at. Thanks for joining, friends and family. Yesterday was a pretty rough day. It rained a lot. So the morning started off just nice. Then it rained. And it got colder. And it hailed and sleeted. And then it kind of stopped. But somewhere in the middle of all that, the mud. It came up with mud. I don't know if you can see at the bottom of those rain pants over there. The pictures I'm going to show you. There was a lot of freaking mud that just stuck to your feet. Felt like your feet weighed about 3 to 5 pounds each. Two creations today. Starkist, lemon pepper. Not a big fan of the lemon pepper. So I brought something to juice it up a little bit. Cholula hot sauce. Yeah, baby. I picked this up at the lodge up at Grand Canyon. I've been carrying it with me. It's time to use it. Time to use it. I'm going to open up both of these packages so I can split it, if you don't mind. Well, today is Thursday. Wednesday was my bad weather day. But if you have a bad weather day, you need a little time to recover from it. You got to dry things out. And my pack isn't waterproof. Not waterproof at all. I have a plastic bag, a liner that I stick inside of it to protect some of the critical things. Your sleeping bag, your sleeping clothes, which are in my bag, the stuff sack that it goes in, the air mattress, your pillow, your puffy coat with an extra set of hat and gloves in there. Not designed for wet wear, just heavy and warm. I like knit, wool knit type stuff. And everything else goes on the back, on top of the bag. On top of the bag. And it keeps the vital stuff from getting wet. However, and then I have a pack cover that goes over it. So it's a 50 liter pack, but 10 liters is in that pouch that's on the back side of it. So some of your stuff inevitably has to go out there. So my spare socks, I like to leave out there to dry. Typically are out there. Some gloves that got soaked earlier in the morning were out there. Needless to say, here it is all hanging up. Everything except my tent. As soon as that tent floor comes dry here in a few minutes, I'm going to put my tent over there. I don't want any chances that it gets my sleeping bag wet. Hey, look what we got for dinner tonight. Oh yeah. Noors since 1838. Cheddar broccoli, rice sides. Rice and pasta blend with broccoli in a cheesy cheddar sauce. Yep. We got the chip bowl there, and we're going to fire it up here in a minute. And we're going to do it. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Oh, the water's ready. Just need to add it. Yeah, boys, girls. This is good stuff coming up. Sitting in the tent. We're going to be really, really quiet and listen. The coyotes are out there howling and hooting and carrying on. Well, after 17 months, 3 long section hikes out to Arizona, I am 10 miles from completing the Arizona Trail in its entirety. All 800 miles. I am hiking down into Flagstaff now, and it's kind of exciting, especially the last couple days have been not the best as far as weather goes. So I'm kind of glad to be ending. At the same time, it's a little bittersweet. I'll have to come up with a new project that gets me out here into this great, beautiful landscape. I mean, look at this. It's freaking amazing out here. So, it's been a long day today so far, in that I really haven't had any water. I think it was Alpha Mayo stop. I missed it by like, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile. And I would have went back, but it was like going all downhill today. And I didn't want to go uphill at all. So I did not. And now I'm paying for it because I don't have water. I did have probably 1/4 liter frozen. I'm waiting for it to thaw out. It's still clanking around there. I've had some of it. But yeah, I'm about to finish the Arizona Trail. That's freaking amazing. I think it's been 17 months. And the first time I came up, it was April. I went from Mexico to Lake Roosevelt. And then I came out in April of this year, 22, and went from Lake Roosevelt up to Flagstaff. Of course, some may or may not know, I found out in Pine that my dad had passed. So I continued on the trail to Flagstaff. It was easier to get a flight back from there. And it was a nice week, actually. I got to think about him, grieve a little bit, remember all the moments we had. But this was on my list of things to finish in the spring, and I didn't want to leave it incomplete. One of the nice things about it is I got to see it from a different season, actually. You know, when I started both times, it was hot and dry, long stretches between water. And one of the big differences I noticed is the high temperatures in the fall, I'm hiking in November, end of October, are almost about what the low temperatures are in the spring. Now, I've had temperatures go all the way down to 12 degrees or something like that in the fall. But in the summer, I've had temperatures go all the way up to 107 and 108 that I've measured myself. So pick your poison. It's one of those trails, it's a hard time to pick exactly when to start. Typically people go northbound in the spring because of the snow that's above the rim still. Southbound in the fall. I recently learned that bikers do the opposite. Bikers actually go northbound in the fall. Interesting little caveat. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up, y'all. Man, this has been a long day. It's been a long day. I'm hoping that this is one of my last ups. I can't be more than 3 or 4 miles out of town. Sorry, the camera's going crazy here. Most people will never film going up. There's a reason. It's hard. And we're all huffing and puffing. But trail in the last 10 miles has had a lot more up and downs, and I like the more than I prefer, we'll say. Oh, folks, this is it right here. I've connected my southbound runs, or my northbound runs, with my southbound run right here, right now, on Veterans Day. It's a Friday. I'm pretty damn excited because you know what that means? I have finished the Arizona Trail. All 800 miles, baby. Yeah, get you some of that.